Morgan Wright. I'm from Northern Virginia, the great Commonwealth of Virginia. You know, it was authenticity. You know, there's an old saying that there's people who read the book and people who wrote the book. Well, these are people who wrote the book on how to do it. It's not just somebody who wanted to put on a seminar and make some money by giving you some tips. They dive into it. But the biggest thing about both of them is they're not doing it to make money off of us. They're doing it to teach us how to make our own money. Courses like this would normally go for 4, 5, 6, 7 times because I've seen them out there. But for what we do to get here and what we've paid to be part of the inner circle, it's a value you can't compare to other things. I mean, it'd be like getting a brand new diamond for 10% of the price and being able to sell it for full price. That's the value I think we get out of stuff like this. And Pam and Steve, they approach it from different ways. Steve is the grizzled veteran. He's the hardened warrior. He's been out there in the trenches. But Pam also brings the analytics too. She's looking at it from a different side than he is. It's like playing chess from all these different levels, and they bring it together so that I can sit here and I can understand, I get what Steven's saying, I get what Pam's saying, and then I can put it together and then come up with my own approach. But what they do is they add value to each other, but they add value to me so that I can make better decisions about what I'm going to do next week, next month, next year. If you're sitting on the fence, here's something to think about, right? What is the value of doing something versus what is the cost of doing nothing? And the cost of doing nothing, it's going to rob you of your future. It's going to rob you of the money you could have made. Now, a lot of people say, well, you know, I hear you lose money in the stock market. Folks, if you're looking for a sure thing, the things you invest in that are a sure thing get you so little return, they actually cost you money when you look at inflation and other things. This is about giving you the confidence to look at this and say, I want to take, it's not diving in by yourself. You're not jumping in by yourself. You got a whole team behind you, but you're jumping in with the knowledge, with the mastery. That's why it's called Market Mastery Group. It's how do you master the market? Everything from psychological, how you think about it, to the technicals, to reading the charts, to things like that. So I look at it, it's like an entire game plan. It's like, I'm not saying we're going to war, but if we're going to war like World War II, you know, D-Day, you know, it's how do you bring all of this stuff together so that when you go out and you attack the market, you're equipped with the knowledge, the skills, and the abilities to be very effective. So I'd say if you're thinking about joining, I will tell you this, if you don't join, I can tell you what will happen. You will continue to lose money on your trades because you think you know better than the market does. You will continue to miss the opportunities because you read the markets wrong or you read the charts wrong. What happens when you join? I will tell you this right now, you will do more than just get the knowledge. You will make your money back on anything it costs you to join by how much more you make in the market. And then what that does is that translates into the future. It's 10x what you would have made on your own. So for me, it's like, if you say it cost me $5 to join, but I can make $50, you know, I'm in. You know, it's control. I mean, everybody wants to control the destiny of their life. For too long, I've allowed other people to use my talents, my skills to make them money. You know, and so I looked at it and I said, how do I change that, right? How do I turn it around to where I make the money now? I take the risk, I put in the effort, I put in the sweat equity, I put in what it takes to win, but when I win and when I earn, it belongs to me now. I no longer have to share it with people, whether you're in a large company or you work for government, it doesn't matter, you're always doing something for somebody else. Things like this allow you to take back control of your life and more importantly, your destiny. Where do you want to be and how fast do you want to get there? This is all in your hands now. It's all in your control. It's not in somebody else's hands. And that's the way I want it. Look, if the old saying is, if it's to be, it's up to me, I want it up to me. You know, typical stuff. I came out of government work and then I was private sector, so I got like restricted stock units and I got some stock options. You know, you do the 401k. I mean, like you think you know, but you don't really. And then when you find out how much you're being robbed from this, so it's like, for me, it took me a while to finally, but it was watching just a clip one time, and it got me thinking, said, I have to change what I'm doing. I can no longer, again, it goes back to, I can no longer let somebody else control my destiny. So for me, it's been about a year, but I've learned so much in that year just from doing what it is, changing what I used to do to changing what I'm doing now. It's been a world of difference. I can't tell you between Pam and Steve, and then I've been working with Jim Taylor too, you know, as a coach. Everybody has to have a coach. Tiger Woods has a coach. Michael Jordan had a coach. You know, you name all the great athletes, they all have coaches. These people are coaching me now to do better at what I do. So for me, it's been about a year, but I will tell you, in that year, I've made more progress in 1 year than I did probably in the 20 before that. Some people look at the market and they get scared because they say, well, what happens, you know, if I put money in and I lose? And I said, well, what happens if you don't put any money in? You'll never win, right? I love what Michael Jordan used to say. He says, I've missed 100% of the shots I've never taken. So this is about, but it's taken about the right shots. And for me, this was the right shot at the right time. As you get older, you get to a different season in life, you start realizing the government's not going to be there for you, and they're not there to make your retirement great. They're not there to make your life great. They're there just to give you something in return for what you've given for all these years, right? So for me, it's like when I looked at how options would change my life, it's about choice. It's about my ability to make a choice to say, what do I want to do today? It's like being a sailor, putting your finger up and say, which way's the tide today? I'm going to go this direction. Nothing stops me from going that direction. That's what options is going to do. It's going to give you the ability to say, I no longer have to be controlled by other people and their desires and their needs. What I can do now is I do it for me. So options changes. It's not just finding, a lot of people think it's about the money. No, if it was about the money, everybody'd be happy. Not everybody who has money is happy, but everybody who has found the value in their life is able to control their choices and able to live the life that they want to on their terms. That's what option does. Not only it's about financial future, but it's about freedom. I think the freedom to make choices, to do things you couldn't do yesterday that you can do today. I've looked at some of those and I've looked at other programs, but at me it went back down to, it goes back to what I said before. There's people who read the book and people who wrote the book. And the biggest thing for me is why Pam and Steve and MMG is there are people who make a professional living about selling you on courses for you to attend or selling you on seminars to come attend and then you walk away, but they're not there for you afterwards. They make a commitment, a year-long commitment to you. To say, look, you join, we're committed to you for a year. Every week, Steve puts out a video. Every week, Pam and Steve are on talking about, here's our trades of the week. Every week, they're putting out inner circle content. They've made a commitment to us. So that's what I looked at. I said, are there people who are just trying to make money, or are there people who are teaching us how to make money? And that's what Pam and Steve do. They teach me how to make money. They're not about making money off of me. They're about making money for me. That's the big difference.